Alright, what is up guys, it is Storm back here with another video, and in this one I am bringing you part 16 to Mightless, a My Hero Academia story by the mysterious banana. Now if you want to check this story out for yourself, the link to it will be down in the description below. But before the video begins, if you like the content you're seeing, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? If you want some dope channel merch, the link to that will be down in the description below. And if you want to see more of me, go check out my other channels and go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which will all be linked down below. But without further ado, why don't we just dive right on in. From one dark alley to another, the faint sounds of one's footsteps could be heard, faintly muffled under the sound of rain lashing against the pavement. A frantic panting can be heard, accompanying this symphony of desperation as a formerly great villain and leader ran from his former colleagues. His body, battered and bruised, aching from torture wounds, would have made you believe he was a victim to the League of Villains rather than its former leader. The waves of raindrops soaked what was left of his dark robe, moisturizing his dried, wrinkled skin and keeping fresh wounds from closing. He didn't stop his panic sprint though, as he could hear the sound of his pursuers dead behind him. "Get him! Don't let the traitor escape!" yelled one of his pursuers, letting his nearby companions know that he found him. Soon after that, another silhouette jumped down from the rooftops, his body shifting mid-fall, as he blocked the escape route of our former villain. "You've got guts killing two of our men and bolting, but did you really think you could escape us?" asked the chaser. His target remained silent, too scared to even utter out a single word. Don't worry, we won't kill you. We have much better uses for you. The now gargantuan ape of a man stood above him, swinging at him with his massive arm. "Now come on now, it's time to go to sleep." Suddenly, the gorilla villain felt an indescribable pain coming from his left arm, where he supposedly hit his mark. His eyes panicked as his left arm started to crumble, getting completely reduced to dust. Just then, the scrawny, broken ex-fearless leader charged forward, placing his palm on his foe's forehead. Screams of agony could be heard as the beastman's head's flesh peeled off, leaving a human skull crumbling to dust seconds later. The limp, lifeless corpse flopped to the ground as Shigaraki rubbed his right arm where he had taken the hit. Broken, he thought, as he then continued to limp away. Reaching the more illuminated parts of town, Shigaraki hurried to make it out into the open. At this point, he knew he was either getting turned into a mindless soldier or getting arrested, and frankly, even he knew which one was the better option. But of course, before he could reach the exit, he was stopped by another attacker. "Great, now you escaped and killed one of our search party participants. You've really done it, haven't you?" Suddenly, a throwing knife came flying out of the dark, stabbing the guy right through the head. The dead corpse of the villain staggered back a little bit, before collapsing into a pile of trash. Shigaraki, looking around fearfully, attempted to call out for help, but couldn't muster up the energy to even form any words. Suddenly, a silhouette jumped down from the roof. Shigaraki, attempting to run, tripped and fell onto his back, staring fearfully at the stranger. "Who the hell are you?" asked the imposing figure. No response. "Well, hello, Mr. Hand-on-Face. The name's Stain." Back at the hideout, Izuku was waiting patiently for Toga's return, as well as conjuring up another plan. Kurogiri got curious and looked over at Izuku's notes. On his notebook, he saw an album of all the students from Class A with scribbles all over them. "Wondering what I'm doing, huh?" asked Izuku, not even looking up. "Well, with you, this could literally mean anything," replied Kurogiri. "I've learned, with my experience in Class A, that they all want to become heroes for different reasons. And of course, as you know, the reason you seek to become a hero also makes you into someone you think can be described as a hero. In other words, the definition of hero varies in between students, and their ideals can still be influenced." Kurogiri was able to fill in the gaps. "You're looking to see which of these students seems trustworthy enough to recruit, aren't you?" asked Kurogiri. "Bullseye, Kurogiri. Bullseye." Kurogiri's head extended out, wrapping around that of Izuku, attempting to get a better view of the notes. "Who do you think we can trust so far?" asked Kurogiri. Izuku let out a smile, pointing his pencil at Todoroki. "I haven't seen much of this kid, but I feel great, untapped potential coming from him." "The son of Endeavor?" asked the shadowy bartender. "It would be very interesting to see what a father would do when his son suddenly would want to kill him," replied Izuku. "I don't recommend it," said a voice from the back. Izuku turned around, seeing Dabi entering the room. "Ah, Dabi, back from your nightly grind, how's it been?" asked Izuku. "You mentioned recruiting my brother, didn't you? He may be the son of Endeavor, my dad also, but the one hero that he truly admires is All Might," Dabi continued. "Thoughts can change, Dabi. They can change," Izuku continued. Suddenly, through the door came Toga, lunging into Izuku's arms. "Izu, I'm finally back," Toga replied in a much more excited tone than normal. "Whoa, easy there," Izuku said with a hint of surprise. Toga leaped into Izuku's arms like a dog waiting for its owner to return from work. Izuku fell onto the floor as Toga immediately started to remove clothing from him. Hey, Toga, what the hell?" asked Izuku. "A promise is a promise, Izuku. I kept up my end of the deal and behaved exactly like how you wanted me to. Now, where's my end of the bargain?" asked Toga. "What are you saying?" Izuku asked in confusion. Suddenly, Toga's face went red with anger as she delivered a brutal slap across Izuku's face. "Izuku, you idiot!" she yelled. Izuku, now with a palm-shaped red mark running down his face, turned to Toga, who pulled out her phone to play a recording. There were some words lost to the static, but then Izuku's voice was heard. "Now listen, Toga, when you take my place and save the day, I want you to behave exactly like me. Like no turning away the girls, no sexual hints, just plain old innocent Izuku for one whole day." "And will like it if I do what I'm told?" asked Izuku in the recording. Then, as if said in a way to just make her do her job, Izuku's voice replied, "Then we'll do certain things when the mission is over. Got it?" Izuku started to sweat nervously. I never recorded that, Toga. You must have used your quirk to change your voice and fake a conversation." Yeah, that's it," Izuku stuttered. Getting annoyed, Toga leaned in and kissed him in front of everyone. And Kurogiri, like the sicko that he is, made himself a drink and watched. Getting to school was very nerve-wracking for Izuku, mainly because he isn't sure what Toga has in store when she posed as him. Entering the class, he was greeted with cheers and applause. Most of his classmates ran up to him, congratulating him for his bravery. Ochako even hugged his right arm, leaning against his shoulder, and several girls in the classroom were looking at him with dreamy eyes. "I have a girlfriend, you know," Izuku whispered as Ochako suddenly remembered Toga and let go, embarrassed. The door opened as Aizawa, now covered in bandages, limped through the doorway. Most of the students turned to him, wondering if he should even be teaching in the state that he was in. "Alright everyone, take your seats," Aizawa said casually as if nothing happened. "I hope you're doing well, Aizawa-sensei," some of the students commented, seeing his injuries. "My welfare isn't important. Right now, we have much more important business at hand," said Aizawa. Some of the students shuddered, expecting more villains. "The Yuuei Sports Festival is fast approaching," he announced. "Such an ordinary school thing," exclaimed some of the students. At the conference room, Inspector Tsukayuchi laid out some paperwork, examining the results of his investigation of the pro heroes. "The man named Shigaraki has a quirk that disintegrates anything he touches. We've been through the list of men in their 20s or 30s, but no luck. He hasn't turned up. Neither has the Warp Gate villain," explained the inspector. "So what you're saying is we have a few unregistered quirk users to deal with?" asked Snipe. The inspector shook his head. "Sadly, I fear we have much bigger problems to deal with," he said, opening a file as well as retrieving a vial from his pocket. "We were finally able to get a clear image of the rumored Grim Reaper who's been killing all our pro heroes. We still have no data about his appearance, official size, weight, or even quirk. What we do know is that he currently holds possession of this." He released a vial containing a black liquid. "Isn't that trigger?" All Might finished, cutting off Vlad. This quirk enhancement drug, while thought to be banned, seems to have resurfaced. And sources suggest that Mightless might not only have still a truckload's worth, but would have also created variants with different effects, replied the inspector. "Mightless?" asked Nezu. Kurogiri revealed the Grim Reaper's official code name. "We've already registered him in the villains list," explained the inspector. "Is there a possibility that he's the ringleader of this attack?" asked All Might. "Judging by the other possibilities, I believe so. According to our sources, the three potential leaders we compiled were Kurogiri, Shigaraki, and Mightless. And out of these three, Mightless seems to be the most likely candidate. Unlike Shigaraki, he's calm and composed, even when his plans seemed to go haywire, as if failing to kill Aizawa was part of his plan. He only revealed himself at the last second, and from eyewitnesses' perspective, It seems Shigaraki wasn't actually part of this attack, and just wanted to join. So he forced himself in, analyzed the inspector. So, in other words, he's a man-child, Midnight said. Kurogiri was another potential leader, but seeing how he appeared first, I find that unlikely, especially considering how rare it is to see leaders put on the front line, continued the inspector. Perhaps we should prioritize on this Mightless fellow, if left unchecked. Who knows how much chaos he might cause in the future, Snipe asked. We would if we could, but as of now, all of us are in an awkward position. Villain attacks are becoming more and more frequent thanks to Mightless's influence. Many pro heroes are already teachers and staff here in Yuuei and in other schools, and most importantly, should this attack be broadcasted, which is likely, All Might will be forced into the battlefield to keep up his #1 hero reputation, and with this states, I doubt he would last out there, explained the inspector in an apologetic tone. You shouldn't worry about my state, All Might said. After all, I think I found a suitable successor for my quirk. 愛してる